Hi there, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori. I keep a YouTube channel to keep track of the things that I am knitting. So today you're watching knitting vlog number 75. 75 episodes so far. That's crazy. Didn't think I'd get this far in this. Is this social media? I don't know. It is. I guess it is. Today is November 2nd. It's a Wednesday. I got my oil changed. No. I have an appointment for my oil change. I got my car inspected today because it's now 2 days overdue. If you hear a cat, he's decided to start bugging me for food, so I'm sure he'll show up here and be a nuisance. I apologize. I apologize if I move and this chair I'm sitting on squeaks. It's pretty squeaky. Apologize for that. Let's get all the apologies out of the way. Okay, in today's episode, I have one finished object. I have one work in progress. And then some other random things thrown in at the end. So let's get down to brass tacks. I finished a thing that I talked about in knitting vlog number 74.2. Which was my Rhinebeck haul. So if you remember correctly, I bought some yarn at Rhinebeck so that I could make the Hilly hood by Ventzel. Ventzel. I don't know how to say her name. It's a DK weight hood, or a baklava, I guess is another term for it. The yarn I bought was from Little Fox Yarn. I got Arctic Fox DK, and the color is called Delovely. And I bought 2 skeins of this, and then I had 1 skein of Vixen lace, which is the Surrey alpaca. And this is what I have left. So I used 1 full skein plus some of this, and there is, let's see, 2.1 ounces of this left. I don't know what that is in grams, sorry. And that's all I have left of the Surrey alpaca. So I held these double throughout. The pattern is a paid-for pattern. I can't remember how much it was, but I'm sure y'all know how to look stuff up on Ravelry. So, I have some things to say about this hood. Let me try it on for you, and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so I know it seems like it's a little bit ridiculous. However, I'm very happy with how it turned out. So it's knit from the top down. That's all I'm going to say. It's paid for a pattern, yada yada. It was very easy to knit. It's a broken rib, and I didn't mind knitting that. However, after I had started working, well, yeah, you're not really working in the round. You're working back and forth. I got like here, and I got a little turned around with the instructions, because if you don't know what broken rib is, you're knitting like a ribbing on the wrong side, and on the right side you're knitting. And I guess what happens when I have that kind of a pattern that I'm working on? I tend to try to read the pattern, but for some reason, I got messed up on a couple of rows where I should have been. The purling and the knitting weren't lining up. It wasn't lining up right. I don't really know how to describe it other than I can show you on the hood what I mean. So without giving too much away, you knit this top first. And then you pick up the stitches, okay? So here is the one side. Everything looks normal. But here's what happened on this side. I missed one row of knitting and purling. And now it's just showing as knit. Like, I really wish I could describe what happened. And it's fine. You know, obviously no one's going to notice that little bit of issue there. I had kind of screwed that up a little bit below that as well, and I ended up ripping, like tinking back with that stupid alpaca. It was a pain in the butt. I did rip back and drop down and, you know, try to fix what I had done, but it would have been way too hard to rip all the way back through this too. So I just decided to leave it. So can wear it with this hat too if you wanted like a hood with a hat. So I thought about possibly gifting this to my brother for Christmas, but I don't know if I want to give it away. It's so nice. It's so soft. I tell you, there's a big difference for me, for my skin, between mohair and this alpaca. This is way softer than mohair. Mohair does have a bit of a prickle for me to it. So I will definitely look for more Surrey alpaca in the future. Boy, did I get lucky and not run out of yarn. That would have stunk, wouldn't it? So, all in all, here's the back underside, which also looks pretty great. All in all, I did like this pattern a lot. The bind-offs required an Italian bind-off, which if you're not familiar with that, it's kind of like a Kitchener. So it's a sewn bind-off basically. So you're, you know, purling, keeping the yarn on, and then knitting and taking the yarn off, and back and forth. And it created this really nice bind-off edge. Like I'm so happy that I stuck with that process because I really love how it turned out. And that was required on all the edging. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. It looks really nice and clean and neat. You can see that. So yeah, the Italian bind-off, worth the trouble. All in all, worth the trouble. So, little disappointing when I tried it on and showed my husband and he called me Kenny from South Park. Thanks for ruining it for me. I mean, to be fair, it would have been worse if this was orange. So thank God that wasn't the case. But will I wear this in the middle of winter when I'm shoveling? Absolutely. And it might even be too warm. I don't know. It's going to be warm, that's for sure. So that is my finished object for this podcast. Um, I'm also knitting. I picked my socks back up and I've been working on them. I'm still just on the first sock, but I can show you my progress. The last 2 days I've got through the heel and now I'm working on the foot. I knit a bunch of this at Pet Boys when I was waiting for my car today. So this sock is just my standard vanilla sock. I did about 15 rows of 2x2 ribbing. I'm knitting 64 stitches, magic looping on US ones. Usually I do a regular heel flap and gusset, but this time instead of doing a regular slip stitch heel, I did an eye of partridge heel. I just love how that worked up in this yarn. It looks really nice. And I think I'm gonna do a Kitchener toe instead of my standard barn round toe. I don't know, just switching it up, you know, just try something else. I might even try something else that I've never tried before. I don't know. I'll have to dig out a sock book. But there's my sock whip. Not too exciting. Hopefully I'll be able to get the other one done next week. I'm just keeping that in one of my little bagoo bags. I love this bag. Okay, so some other things. Let's talk about future knitting plans. So I was hoping to cast on something new before I recorded today, but I didn't get there yet. And there are some mittens in that Estonian book that I just bought, and of course I didn't bring it in here. By Aleks Byrd, Traditions Revisited. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be my next work in progress. I don't know yet. I have spent a little time looking at the pattern and looking at the instructions for it. But that's what I was thinking. They're called the Kipparusa mittens. This fringy detail is a little bit more fiddly than I thought it was going to be, so I don't know. She used a tool that she actually probably had made for that particular technique. Essentially, it's a popsicle stick. Probably could use the popsicle stick for that process. Here's a couple more pictures. So they do have this optional flap that you can flip up and button. I do like that, actually. So anyway, this is on my radar. And I did pull out some yarn that I was thinking about using. So for the body of the mitten, I think I'm going to use this. Bare Naked Walls. This is a Stone Soup Fingering. 450 yards. And it's kind of a dark brown. And then I just pulled up a couple of options for the fringe. Thought those would be pretty with it. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. That might be next. Yeah. Yeah, those are cute. I should probably be thinking more along the lines of Christmas knitting, but I'm just not. I'm just not. I actually also thought about knitting a hat next. Just something quick and easy. I do want to knit this shawl, but oh my god, it's knit from the bottom up. The cast on is 450 stitches. No, if you make the large size, the cast on is 547 stitches. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. The next thing on my to-do list is to create an advent, a yarn advent for my friend Mylene. Mylene and I are doing an advent swap with some sock yarn. I'm assuming it's sock yarn. I'm assuming that's what it is. But Mylene, if you're watching this and you want to send me other weights of yarn, that's fine. I don't care. If it's all going to be sock, that's great too. Whatever. I'm getting hung up in my brain about how to package it so it's cute. So we'll see what I come up with. But first things first is I gotta dig the yarn out and ball it all up for you. So that's what I'm gonna do. She is visiting me. Hopefully, fingers crossed, all the fingers and toes are crossed. November 16th. She's going to come here and stay with me for a few days. And I'm excited. It's going to be fun to have my knitting friend here. And we're thinking we're going to film a podcast. So I will have a special guest host. That will be very exciting. I've never podcasted with anyone else before. It's always just been me. And I believe that's the same for her as well. So we're looking forward to that. That will be really fun. And who knows, maybe we'll even do like a local yarn store jaunt or something, like a field trip. That could be fun. So look forward to that the week before Thanksgiving. And that's all I have to talk about today. If you came just for knitting, you can mosey on along, and I'll see you guys next time. If you want to listen to me ramble on and on about a dishwasher issue that I had this week, stick around. Thank you so much for watching. I cut out a whole story about my dishwasher because it took too long to tell that story. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to keep up on my future videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about my works in progress or my knitting, you can always find me on Ravelry at Lorelei Erdo. I think that's what it's at Lorelei Erdo. I'm on Instagram as at Lorelei Hill Erdo. Hill is my maiden name, in case you're wondering. And I'll see you guys on the next video, which will be me and Mylene. So, yay! See ya!